you're taking longer to turn it on. Older guys tend to place too much emphasis on mechanics rather than motivation. To become excited, try these 6 things. To continue to be passionate about finding love after 50, use these suggestions. 1. Recognize the causes of the changes. Put it down to evolution. Reproduction is life's biological purpose. Humans have evolved over the ages to make the most of their reproductive prospects. Young males are hot to trot because of this. However, the neurological system gets less active after the age of 50, and erotic urgency decreases. Even once randy billy goats may eventually think the unthinkable, gee, I don't want to, I'm not turned on. Men can become fathers at any age, whereas women cease producing eggs when they reach menopause. Though erections may become tricky and arousal may no longer be automatic, this does not mean that having sex is easy after the age of 50. Simply put, it requires effort. She wanted to, and I enjoyed it with her, but I just couldn't work up to it, as a 66-year-old acquaintance recently said. 2. Understand that arousal is unaffected by erection-inducing medicines. Arousal and erection are interchangeable terms in young males. By contrast, at the age of 50, things alter. An older man may feel aroused but not want sex, or he may obtain an erection but not feel aroused. Many guys are confused by this decoupling, which is understandable. Some people use erection medicines to relieve their symptoms because they think that if the mechanics are in place, the motive will be, too. They take the pill, and when it doesn't make them feel turned on, they feel betrayed. This is why, medication to treat erections only increases blood flow to the penis. They have no impact on subjective arousal. More than half of men who receive an initial prescription for erectile dysfunction medication never have it renewed. 3. Enjoy the ascent. It makes sense psychologically to wrap a present, since the wait to unwrap it creates excitement and adds zest to both giving and receiving. Arousal is also increased when one anticipates having sex. Because of this, sex therapists advise couples who have moved past the hot and heavy phase to schedule sex dates in advance. Sex may not occur when elderly persons wait to be naturally aroused. Here's one way to gift wrap the present that is practically guaranteed to titillate an older man: shop for lingerie with your honey. 4. Have patience with both yourself and her. What young men desire to do all night takes older guys all night to do, is a common adage among sex therapists. However, if you slightly reframe that truism, you'll find an advantage to the elder sex. Young guys who enter genital play before the woman feels warmed up and receptive are a common complaint of younger ladies. Erotic compatibility is improved by an older man's slower rate of arousal, which fits in well with what women like. Therefore, embrace and kiss your companion playfully before any of you reaches for their undercarriage. Use long, seductive strokes to massage one another from head to toe. She might feel enough stimulated to enjoy genital play after around 30 minutes. And it's likely that you will as well. 5. Accept the novel. Why are the first few weeks of a relationship so intense? Dopamine. When people fall in love, the level of this neurotransmitter in the brain increases. But after a year or so, your dopamine levels return to normal, which could make arousal difficult for an elderly man. Use novelty to increase your dopamine levels to recapture the ever-ready excitement of early romance, and thus enhance arousal. For this reason, sex therapists advise couples to incorporate new components into their sex life, such as making love in a novel manner, at a novel time, or in a novel location. A weekend getaway with your significant other could be the ideal approach to accomplish all 3. 6. Adjust your dreams. The foundation of sex is friction and fantasy. The majority of people are aware of the friction, but some find fantasies unsettling since everything is acceptable and nothing is forbidden, including behaviors you would never engage in real life. So, if you're having trouble getting arousal, use all of your creative energy. Having sex with someone who is not your usual partner is one of the most popular sensual fantasies. Some women frown upon such mental unfaithfulness, but daydreaming is acceptable if memories of a past love make you shiver. Pornography can arouse many men, particularly elderly men who have trouble controlling their desire. Men over 45 constitute 41% of the internet porn audience. Again, I see no harm in it as long as you don't get addicted to watching X-rated content to get sexy. How men's sexual lives alter after age 50. It's different from how it used to be, which may be a good thing. 1. A few things evolve. Think about erections, for instance. They rise more slowly, lose firmness, and become less common around age 40 and most definitely by age 50. Fantasy sex is no longer sufficient. Men need to be fondled, frequently for a long time. It's unsettling to wilt and lose firmness in response to inconsequential distractions like a ringing phone, but these changes are very natural. Unfortunately, a lot of men confuse them with erectile dysfunction, ED, and feel upset, which just makes the issue worse. The arteries that supply blood to the penis are narrowed by anxiety, which reduces the likelihood of erections. Additionally, a wide range of medical disorders, including obesity, diabetes, heart disease, high cholesterol, and high blood pressure, affect erections. Dr. Marty Klein, a sex therapist, offers this advice to older guys who are having trouble getting an erection. Instead of lamenting what you've lost, concentrate on the pleasure you may still have by relaxing, taking deep breaths, and asking for the kind of touch that makes you feel excited. Even actual ED need not restrict sexual gratification. Dr. Ken Haslam, a retired anesthesiologist who conducts seminars on sex and aging, asserts that men don't require erections to experience orgasms. I'm 76, and I've had fantastic orgasms without erections, either to manual stimulation or oral sex, he says. 2. Some things don't change. According to a groundbreaking University of Chicago study, around 1/3 of males between the ages of 18 and 49 complain about climaxing too quickly at least once each year. Premature ejaculation, PE, which affects many elderly men, is still an issue or has returned. The following poll reveals that 31% of men in their 50s, 30% of men in their early 60s, 28% of men between the ages of 65 and 70, and 22% of men between the ages of 75 and 85 are affected by PE. Anxiety and penis-focused sex are the two main contributors to PE. The neural system becomes more excitable when anxious, which includes the nerves that cause ejaculation. Additionally, sex that is focused on the penis causes more strain than necessary on the male organ. Young males frequently worry about having sex. Will she allow me? What should I do? But older guys also worry about raising an erection. Will I remain tough? Additionally, because our sexual society is so focused on having a relationship, men of all ages mistakenly assume that erotic pleasure can only be found in the penis. Linda Alperstein, a sex therapist, advises older PE patients to enjoy slow, playful, whole-body stroking since it lowers anxiety and spreads arousal throughout the body, relieving pressure on the penis and lowering the chance of PE. 3. The main draw might alter. Intercourse immediately comes to mind when you think of sex. This main lure on the sexual menu, however, might become troublesome after the reproductive years. Uncertain erections and ED become more common in older men. While this is going on, elderly women have vaginal atrophy, thinning and inflammation of the vaginal lining, which can make sex uncomfortable or difficult, lubrication or not. Some older couples forego sexual activity in favor of what Dr. Haslam refers to as whole-body massages, oral sex, and using sex toys, says the outer course. Without engaging in intercourse, you can have incredibly sensuous, pleasurable sex by using creative outer course. 4. You don't have to depend on ED medications. The misconception is that elderly men regularly take erection aids. The truth is that not many people have even tried them, much less used them frequently. Researchers from Germany polled 3,124 older males, and 40% of them reported having trouble getting an erection. Only 9% of respondents who could name an erection medicine had ever used one. 6,291 older males were polled by Cornell researchers, and half of them reported having erection issues. How many people had used drugs? 7% alone. Men no longer require erections as sexual activity decreases, therefore they have less need for erection-inducing medicines. 5. The gender gap is smaller. Men get excited quicker than women do in their 20s and 30s, and many younger women lament that he's all through before I even feel aroused. However, it takes longer for older men to get hot. Although the change to slower arousal can be unsettling, it allows for the development of fresh sexual harmony from the youthful sexual discord. Compared to young lovers, older couples are more sexually compatible, claims developmental psychologist, Dr. Richard Sprott. Couples who understand this can have more satisfying sex at 65 than they did at 25, even without an erection and sexual contact.